and at the same time, whatever, and like breaking it down the way he did it, and the rewind sequences and all that stuff was like, whoa. And I think I was telling everybody before, I watched it about 2,000 times, but I can't stop not watching it over and over again, just seeing his movies. Like,
That's so cool.
It's a great little film. I mean, man, the way he puts his stuff, like I think that's kind of, I don't know what everyone put in, but I think it's kind of like your wheelhouse though. Like honestly,
thanks.
Like the boot camp urges the boot camp, and then like our Under the Underground is kind of like the street kind of like gritty type of, I don't know, whatever, but like really knocks us out the park. You know what I mean? Like just
takes talent, like a certain eye for that stuff. Not everybody can just go and create stuff like that.
I do a lot of horror.
I wouldn't be able to.
I do a lot of horror stuff, but honestly, I'd like to do more stuff like Heat and Den of Thieves. More street.
Yeah.
The
Wire.
Or The Wire. Or even movies like Collateral. Just more night stuff, you know. Right. But horror seems to be more accessible for me anyway, because it's not so much easier, but I can't go in the LA street and have a gun battle. You got to do, if you really want to get involved and do these things, you have to do like what you guys are doing here. We're doing it here in the fucking house.
Yeah,
it's what you do. You know what I mean? Or you just don't do it.
Yeah,
right.
So,
got to get up off your ass one way or another.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Welcome back to Undoctrinated.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Tim. I'm sitting here with my lovely girlfriend, Natalie. We're in a great mood.
Is that so?
I promise.
How fake does that sound, guys? Just kidding.
We are in a great mood. I swear.
Yeah, we are.
Natalie is pregnant still.
Yep.
We have not terminated the pregnancy yet.
There's no way. We're too far along. Why would we do that? Just because that new bill passed doesn't mean we're going to do it.
As long as you want. You get to think about it.
No,
We're still thinking about it.
No, we are. We are thinking of nothing except for how excited we are for the baby to come out.
We're still thinking about it.
Tim's lying.
Because laws allow us to.
Shut up.
I know, I'm just kidding. That's a terrible, sick joke.
Yeah, it's a sick
Speaking of
joke.
sick jokes, the best time for a sick joke is around Halloween. You know why? Because that's a spooky time of the year.
Yeah, it's spooky.
We got a spooky episode, kinda. It's not as spooky as our Halloween episode. That was probably the most spooky.
What Halloween episode?
We did a Halloween episode, just me and you.
Oh, yeah. But I forgot what we talked about.
People came over and trick-or-treated during the episode.
I know. I remember that, but I don't remember it being spooky.
Well, it was really only spooky because it was during Halloween.
Oh.
We talked about Halloween candy being allegedly laced with drugs.
Fun stuff.
Like
no, just kidding. Unless it's bad drugs.
Philanthropists were literally, or these philanthropists were allegedly, giving away their drugs to children in Halloween candy.
Who would? I would never. Nobody would ever.
Only the most kindest of people would do that.
I know. That doesn't exist. I've never gotten drugs in my Halloween candy, no matter how much I wanted it.
That's right. Anyway, we do have a great episode.
Yeah, it's super good.
You might have already heard it. You might have already heard it. It's been on YouTube.
That's
for
true.
About a
we
week
do
or
have
two.
it on video on YouTube, but this is just the audio portion of it. But
this was our first video podcast.
Yes. Thanks to Mike.
Yep. Thank you, Mike, for coming over and making all this happen.
And Brian too.
Yeah, Brian. Anyway,
assisted him.
Yeah.
But
Mike Santana, filmmaker.
Yeah, A really good filmmaker.
Uh-huh.
Horror films.
Mostly
And
horror
music
films.
videos, too.
Mostly horror films. But like he mentioned in the podcast during the interview, they're doing a cop documentary now.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. So
He's broadening
he
his
is.
stuff.
He's broadening his horizon.
Yeah.
So I don't jump to horror filmmaker anymore. Although when
Just
we were
filmmaker,
trying
maybe.
to build up to this episode, I kept continuously calling him horror
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Just,
Mike Santana.
just filmmaker.
Yes, just filmmaker.
Director.
Anyway, we got
All that
the
stuff.
interview. We
Yay.
did it. And Mike Santana is an amazing person. Check this out. I reached out to Mike. I said, Mike, you barely know me. I just started a podcast. You probably aren't interested, but I think this was in text, so the context wasn't necessarily the same. But anyway, you probably aren't interested, but would you be willing to come on, do an interview for my podcast? And he responded with a link to his podcast. So much to my surprise, this is how I found out that he was doing a podcast.
So, did you know about his horror films and stuff? Is that why you wanted to?
Yeah, I was already a fan of his.
Okay.
I had seen some of his work online.
And how did you know he did that? Just because it's like hearsay and
Just
stuff at
'cause
work?
He's amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because his work is incredible. You go online to Manna-hata Movies on YouTube or manna-hatamovies.com. You can see his work. Anyway, he responded. He replied to my text with the link to his podcast. And
And what's the name of that podcast again? It's the 2S
Horror Quarters podcast.
Horror Quarters.
So his podcast is basically all about horror filmmaking
Yeah.
and horror movies.
Super good.
It's a great podcast. You got to check it out. It's the production quality makes me want to throw all my microphones and my audio interface and my computer in the trash and quit everything I'm doing right here because the production quality is that good.
Yeah, it's tip top.
But
do you expect anything less with somebody that that makes movies? I mean, of course, their podcast is going to sound great. Hello.
Yeah. Well, that's true. He understands the importance of audio quality. We haven't quite gotten that through our thick skulls here and indoctrinated.
One day, maybe. We'll figure it out.
But this episode, I'll get to it in a minute, but the audio quality, I'll get to why in a minute anyway, but the audio quality for this episode is the best, I think.
Yeah, that's because he was doing it.
Exactly. So anyway, he sends me the link to his podcast. And I clicked on it, and I watched the first episode of his podcast, and I'm like thinking to myself, fuck. This dude is making badass movies and music videos, and now he's making a badass podcast. He's not going to come on our podcast.
I know, right? We're like bottom of the barrel compared to his shit.
Believe it or not, he was enthusiastic about it. He was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll come on your podcast.
Aww.
And he's like, I'll bring all my equipment, and we'll make it a video podcast. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Salt of the earth, this guy.
What does that mean?
He's as good
I
as
like
it
that
gets.
saying, salt of the earth.
Yeah.
I almost think that would be like something
I
mean
actually
to say to
don't know
somebody.
exactly
but
what that means.
that could
I
be
just know
something
it's
real
a
mean.
good compliment.
Oh, it's a good compliment.
Yeah.
I think if you were mad and you were like, salt of the earth to you, buddy, you could make it a mean
Maybe
compliment
I should
too.
look that up. He's a
Maybe
good
we
guy.
don't mean that, but yeah, it is. He is a great person.
So yeah, he said he'll bring his video equipment. He'll record us video and audio doing the podcast.
That was so cool.
And then
And you
from
should have
there
seen
we were
the
just
setup.
talking
There
about
was
dates.
lights all over, big tall light things, and all these cords and boxes
Yeah.
and all this shit.
So we finally hammered out a date to do it. That day rolls around, and Mike shows up early, of course. I didn't know quite why. I just figured, he's a extreme professional, that he's just going to show up a half hour early. Let me tell you, he starts unloading his car, and he must have had this thing jam-packed full of equipment, because it took him like a half hour just to unload his equipment.
The boxes and boxes.
Then took him about an hour hour and a half maybe to set everything up.
Fancy shit.
Like
Legit.
45 minutes into this setup, I was starting to get nervous.
I was gonna say, I came out of the bathroom like, okay, I'm ready, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get palpitations in my heart.
It looked like a goddamn
Palpitations. How do
movie
you say
set
it?
in my living room.
Yeah, it was some crazy shit. I started getting sweaty. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ showed up and he was like, "What's going on, guys?" We're like, "Don't worry."
TJ was so nervous. He didn't even take his sunglasses off the entire time. Okay, that's how
Check
nervous
out the video.
he was.
That's proof. TJ didn't have his sunglasses off.
No.
Yeah, I think he forgot. I think he just
Too nervous.
probably. I
Yeah.
don't blame him though. If I would have showed up to that with my sunglasses on, I probably would have forgot about him too.
See, and it was flush, and it was pretty bright in here with all those fancy movie lights too.
There was lights. There was fucking mics. There was cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, just go to the YouTube channel. It's on our channel. It's
Well,
on
they're not going to get to
Manna-hata
see all the lights
Movies.
and all that stuff on their end because that's behind the scenes, but it was all there.
Right,
people.
but if you actually go look at the video,
Oh yeah, my
you
skin
can tell.
looks so nice. It doesn't really look like that in normal life.
Yeah, you can tell the video, like the production quality of that particular podcast for our
My hair
of
looks
ours
shiny.
is excellent because it mimics what Mike's doing, except we don't have the great studio that Mike has.
Right.
That he records his podcast
You
in.
do get to see our living room and our part of our kitchen. So the printer in the background, the beautiful barbecue tools hanging up on the wall,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
the
great.
slider covered by
towel, a
the
towel.
blinds that were here when we moved in.
Well, and we had a towel
And a
also
towel.
covering
towel.
the part of the dog door. Hey, it's our living room and it works for us, okay?
Anyway. So everything got set up.
Yeah, it
We
was
did
so
an
awesome.
amazing interview. Mike Santana is an incredible filmmaker, perfectionist.
Yeah, for sure.
He brought his
He's a real cool
friend
dude. And he has the most best behaved little boy in the world. Like his
Yeah.
son was here, and you can't even barely tell at all. Like I don't think at all. He was just I don't know how a 2 or 3 year old could just stay here for that many hours and
yeah, believe it or
just
not,
be
there's a 2 or
content.
3 year old off stage, if you will.
no in our living room, like literally right on the other side of the couch. Like you don't even know, and he's just
Yeah,
right there.
I think there's one part where you can actually see him interacting with Mike, but you wouldn't know it unless you saw that part in the video
yes,
podcast.
yeah, I couldn't believe it.
'Cause
I was
he was
like,
very
wow.
well behaved.
I can't even behave that well somewhere for a few hours. Like, and I'm gonna be 33, so that kid is.
But yeah,
Hats off
So
to
this
that.
episode, if you haven't already listened to it on YouTube or seen the video on YouTube, either way, listen to this podcast. It's the interview with filmmaker Mike Santana.
Yeah, I'm
his
super
partner,
excited about
Brian,
this. Brian.
I don't want to. Well, I said partner. That sounds gay, right?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, they're not. I don't think they're not gay.
It's his friend, and he has his own podcast too.
Yeah, which we talk about.
Yes.
Not partner, friend. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but friend. And Brian's a hip hop artist, and I think he's helping Mike out with filmmaking as well.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to find the name of his podcast, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah, Brian has a hip hop podcast. We were talking about it a little bit on the podcast episode. So just tune in. You'll hear more about that because we let Brian does his plugs with everybody else. So stick around.
Yeah, that's
stick
true.
around
Yeah,
to the
just
end
stick
for the
around. I don't know
plugs.
why. It's pregnancy brain is what they call it. Baby brain.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
It's
baby brain.
Mike Santana, Brian, me, Natalie,
Yeah, and he's a
TJ.
hip hop artist. We got like a double whammy. We got a filmmaker,
Yeah.
hip hop artist. This is a great episode, you guys. So
Yeah, check out Brian's music. The shit's awesome. Mike Santana has produced some music videos for him. Go on Mike's YouTube channel and check out all his work. It's Manna-hata Movies on YouTube or Manna-hatamovies.com. That's MANNAHATA. Yeah, that's it. Kayaticstyles.
that's it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I just found it.
Kayaticks.
And that is
Styles.
yeah, and that's Brian the hip hop artist's Instagram.
Yeah, so check him out too.
So.
His shit's awesome, and he's awesome in this interview. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah.
If you're really digging on it and you haven't already seen the video, just go on YouTube, check out our YouTube channel. We're Undoctrinated Podcast on YouTube.
You'll get to see the faces of your hosts, and who doesn't want to see what we look like? So
It's pretty underwhelming, at least from...
speak for yourself. I look
I
like
am
a movie
speaking for
star.
myself.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I look large.
No, you look great, actually, in the,
I know I'm
in the video.
chunky. Well, I'm
And
pregnant,
in real life.
but because
Exactly.
you're sweet. All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
enjoy the episode.
Yeah. Everybody enjoy.
Welcome to Undoctrinated. My name is Tim. Before we get started, hit subscribe. You know, before you realize you hate this video, click the bell thingy also. I don't know why, but everybody and their mother on YouTube says hit the bell thing. I'm not sure what that does, but click
That's
that.
the notification. So anytime you upload a video, they get a notification on their phone, like, "Hey, so and so just uploaded a
All
video."
right, yeah. This is Undoctrinated. I'm sitting here with my co-host TJ,
Hey.
Natalie.
Hello, everybody.
Our last episode I was really excited about, and I spent about a week afterwards thinking about how we were going to follow that amazing episode with Bruce Jingles. Thanks again to Bruce for coming on.
Yeah.
And I think that we have figured out a very good way of following that. We've got hip-hop artist Brian here.
AKA Mike the Middleman, everybody.
That's right. And filmmaker, horror filmmaker, Mike Santana.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no,
Thanks,
thanks for
guys.
coming on.
All right.
I appreciate you setting up all this video equipment to get us a video feed finally. This should be really fun. How long have you been making films, Mike?
I started in 1995.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm old. What happened was out of high school, I graduated in 92. So, no, actually it was 94 I started, yeah. So I started borrowing camcorders from my neighbors. And I still have some of the videos. We did boxing videos and things. I used to edit with 2 VCRs back then. So I'd have to rent a VCR from Blockbuster Video along with the VCR I had. And I had a little mixer that would fade in and out. It was just kind of a little lever.
That's so cool.
And I would type up the credits and then film the credits,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were pretty awful, but they were awesome, looking back at them now. But, yeah, 1994.
How much easier is it to edit video now
compared
than back then?
Compared to back then, it's a whole hell of a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole hell of a lot,
My uncle used to have a old school, probably around 1995, he used to do video
Yeah.
editing himself. He used to have some of that equipment. And he let me use it for school projects and stuff every once in a while. So
Yeah.
a little bit familiar with how the process is with the 2 VCRs and editing onto VHS. And
Yeah. Yeah,
it's kind
it's
of a pain
easier
in the
now.
ass, but...
But I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I mean, to be fair though, I mean now there's much more of a dynamic in editing, so there's a lot more layers I think now versus 2 VCRs. So it just depends how you look at it. I mean, it was a lot more technical back then because you really didn't have a control, so you really had to pinpoint where you want your cuts, and those won't even come out right, So, but now it's a lot. I have 2 monitors, so I can at least see and control most of it.
How does it benefit you to have two monitors as opposed to one?
Because I can, whatever I'm cutting, if I'm cutting something and on the right, like the finished product is going to be on the right whole monitor, right? So on the left monitor would be, all the timelines, audio timelines, filters. So for me, it helps me because I can blow that up, and my vision is just getting worse, it seems like.
Okay.
So the bigger, the better, I can see, okay, that's cool. Oh, I missed that, vice versa.
I see.
I didn't see that. So it helps me out,
More of a visual aspect.
Correct.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You said you started recording boxing videos. Is that what you said?
Yeah, my little brothers, we'd have like the kids in the neighborhood, we would have, fake boxing matches, you know what I mean? Based on Rocky.
Cool.
And I'd have like the Rocky soundtrack in the back. And
How fun.
yeah.
Do you still have those videos?
Yeah, somewhere.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, I'll have to pull them out. We did like action stuff. I'd have like sprinkler line, like the conduit,
Yeah.
PVC pipe. I'd cut that up, paint it red, duct tape it so it resembled dynamite, and then I'd cut that out and then splice in a movie where there's an explosion. I mean, it was awful.
That
but
is
it was,
cool, though.
That's
It's
cool.
like the
Neat.
Steamboat Mickey of Mike Santana's
Exactly.
career.
There it is. Yeah. So it's fun, it's stressful, but it's
Now, was that like in New York or was that out here?
here. I was just born in New York. I grew up out here. Yeah.
Okay.
How many films have you created?
Features, I did one feature. That was gray. As far as shorts, a lot. I can't even. I've done stuff for other people too. I don't know. Probably in the 20s. I mean, that's a lot for me. Maybe
Oh,
close
yeah,
to
it's a lot.
30. If you count music videos, interviews, now podcasts. So it's racking up. So maybe in the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these are project. I mean, these are feature length. If you consider what the parameters are, and 72 minutes and on. I mean, these can go an hour, and you still got to cut and splice all these. So yeah, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the 6th podcast I've worked on. I think something like that. So
Yeah, I love your podcast also. So
Yeah,
that should be
super
mentioned.
good.
You're also the host of 2S, the Horror Quarters podcast.
correct.
Follow
yeah.
them.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That derived from. Well, actually, I was watching Brian's podcast
Follow
first.
his too.
Yeah, we'll get to his in a second. And I go, you know what? Why not use my horror collection? All my masks and things for a backdrop. That's a cool set. I can
Yeah.
light it
Yeah.
different,
Cool.
and we can just chop up horror and indie horror, and it keeps us all creative. Keeps all the creative juices flowing. Keeps us all bridged together. Now we're bridged with you guys, and we're just gonna keep building.
Nice. You have a podcast too, Brian?
So I did a podcast. I listen to podcasts all the time, like one of my favorite things, and I'm a big fan of listening instead of like viewing or whatever. So I did a test podcast, and what he's talking about, it was like a test podcast with two of my other buddies that I knew we could probably talk for like hours and hours. I'm like, we could talk 3-4 hours easy, make up stupid stories, whatever. So what I started doing is I just started teasing on Instagram, just like a minute. Like I was doing like a minute podcast because I didn't think. What I did was I recorded the sound through Pro Tools because I also do music or whatever, but I couldn't kind of find the way to make it look right, whatever. So I was just leaking it just or whatever. And then that's when Mike came. He's like, I want to do the horror podcast. Like, definitely, let's jump on that and check it. So we do that, and then in return, not return or whatever, I guess in conjunction, let's do the hip hop podcast too. It's like, all right, then cool, whatever. So
That's so cool.
We've been kind of doing that, whatever. And like you said, it keeps us super busy. Like I like keeping busy. Every weekend I've only had like 1 week in the last maybe I want to say 3 months. 1 weekend I sat at home or whatever. So it keeps me always moving, always getting out, always doing stuff like that. And I just kind of like the production side of stuff too. So I like seeing projects get done.
So your podcast is a hip hop podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna focus on underground hip hop, elements of hip hop, graffiti art, DJing, MCing, b-boy, and all that stuff. We're gonna actually bring the elements because I'm a strong believer that hip hop is like one of the greatest cultures ever, but only the MCs get to shine. And I'm a big fan of like the graffiti artists, and I'm a big fan of the b-boys and doing that. So I want to showcase that a little more. Yeah, the break dancers. I want to just showcase a lot of that because I think a lot of it gets forgotten. Like we had graffiti videos that Mike's actually cut for us as well, where the graffiti artist points something like this, like so like amazing. I'm like, man, this should really be highlighted. He's like a true artist, like a real true artist. So it really should be highlighted more in hip hop. I mean, the rappers, don't get me wrong, you gotta love listen to music and everything too. But I just love. I just love the whole elements. I like hip hop as a whole round, whatever. So I want to showcase that.
A lot of art
more.
involved.
Yeah,
for sure.
Nice.
Through and through. Even
Yeah.
in the fashion now today.
True.
So what's your favorite horror movie, Mike?
I consider my favorite movie, and I consider it horror, is Jaws, the original Jaws.
You don't consider that just like a regular blockbuster, the first summer blockbuster?
It is scary as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that's also yeah.
my
I think it was actually the very first one, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's all subjective. To me, that's definitely horror, at
Okay.
least in my mind. So
All right.
that was always, and it still is.
It is horrifying.
Yeah, my favorite
Big old
my favorite
giant
film,
shark.
and
That's great. All right.
Do the
I like
sequels
Jaws.
hold up for you?
absolutely not.
No.
The second one is doable. Third one, the 3D, is awful. The fourth one, I don't know if you guys saw that one, Jaws of
No.
Revenge. That's where the shark follows the family to the Bahamas. So think about the concept. Seriously, it's. I mean, I've watched it a million times, but so
Are they sure it was the same shark? No.
well, it was offspring of the shark that got blown up. So that mom would have to
okay.
tell its kids, right? Hey, they're going to be flying to the Bahamas, and the concept was terrible. But I've watched it a million times, but yeah, Jaws. Yeah, the sequel's they're not that good. 2 holds up.
So if Jaws is the bar, right? Between the sequels of Jaws and Sharknado, where does Sharknado fall under Jaws and between Jaws 2 and 3D? And
I have not seen those, man,
What is Sharknado?
it's ridiculous. It's,
but they're very successful, right?
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like slapstick, right? Of the shark movies or whatever.
Yeah.
You need
Oh,
those every now. You need your
definitely.
Naked Gun 2.5. So shark movies, everything. You need that every now.
How's the Sharknadoes?
I haven't seen them.
No.
No, it looks stupid.
They're super
Yeah.
corny. I've seen like a little bit of. They're super corny, but
Yeah.
it's kind of meant to be that way, though. You know.
I
Kinda,
hear that.
A really corny movie, kind of like that I actually really liked was Snakes on a Plane.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, that
was a
was
good
a funny
one.
movie.
Sam,
You
right?
consider that horror?
I'm scared of snakes, so I guess it's more of like a horror comedy. I guess maybe you can
Yeah.
throw it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
about to say it's kind of like a little funny, like
Yeah.
comedy.
Right.
What
So-
constitutes as horror for you then? What do you think is like the criteria?
Well, I think.
I know it's subjective, but
Yeah, exactly. So I think, when you say horror, it's got to be, Freddy or Jason or Michael Myers, those
Sure.
things. But for me, horror films can be any type of shit I'm afraid of, is horror.
So
to me.
paranormal
Right.
and stuff too?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Do you go as far back as like Alfred Hitchcock?
Oh, love Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Love Hitchcock.
Isn't that what your ringtone is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Psycho, right?
Psycho, yeah.
Yeah.
Hitchcock's my
Oh,
guy,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's one of my favorite directors between him and Michael Mann. But yeah, I love me some Hitchcock.
Yeah, I do love Psycho. My mom used to play that movie out though. Like, she'd literally
she's
play it on a
obsessed.
loop all day
Really?
long. She'd be out in the living room, like just sleeping, and have the TV on like full blast,
Awesome.
Yeah.
playing Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first met him, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on in here? What is this?
1960,
Yeah.
man. Wow. Yeah, that still holds up to me, man.
Absolutely.
That's
Quality.
the
it's a
creative
great
filmmaking,
movie.
though. That's a lot of because a lot of that's actual like physical filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's not like added in afterwards. I like kind of like
Yeah, it's all
like,
practical
yeah,
shit.
I like
yeah.
kind of like that when they have to kind of think outside, or like, outside the box. So you have to think of a way to make it look visual on camera without the
Right.
technology.
Exactly.
That's kind of those guys are kind of like even ahead of their time at that. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite horror icon of any movie besides the shark?
Oh, Michael Myers. Yeah.
You take him over Jason?
Yeah. Take him over Freddy, all them guys.
Where do the Halloween movies rank?
For me, 1 and the original 2
Yeah.
are the top 2. Like this
As far as
last
the Halloween series, those are your
Right.
favorite. How do the Halloween movies rank amongst other horror films to you?
I'd put him up there pretty high, man. To me, I mean, Michael is more of when he's done right, he's more of. I mean, yeah, he's supernatural, but he's more human than to me a Jason Voorhees would be, or Freddy Krueger, But Michael Myers always, as a kid, scared me because, a good friend of mine told me, Michael, that mask, when you look at that mask, at least from the original, from the first and the second, it's like being killed by nothing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
there's
true.
there's
I
no
could see that for sure.
there's no thought process, there's no feeling, it's just that blank face, and it always scared me as a kid,
Right.
It is
right.
scary.
Yeah.
For sure.
So back to some of your projects. I kind of got that same feeling from the feature film Gray that you did.
Oh, Gray. Yeah.
And I wanted to know a little bit more about that. What year did you guys? What year did the process for Gray start?
Gray started. There's a short that I did on Gray, a 30-minute short that's black and white, and I cut some of that into the feature that we did in 2014. So the original Gray was in 2009, and we didn't want to do anything different. We didn't want to be creative. We said, let's just make a slasher, man, with the masked man. I wasn't trying to do anything different, outside of having the killer a black guy instead of a white dude. That would probably be the only thing that was different about it. My friend of mine's 6'6", so we used him as the killer. But outside of that,
it's gonna be you, maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't meet him until after.
I didn't meet him until after, and I met him. Like, man, I could have used you for Gray, man.
Yeah, I didn't meet him until after Gray. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that started in 2009, and then my buddy was like, let's try to reboot it. Which we're talking about doing another one now, but I don't know. That was such a headache. But so we rebooted it we started in about 2013, finished in 2014, something like that. That took probably about a year to complete, in
its entirety, the whole process was a year?
Maybe a little longer, but as far as filming and getting all that.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, overdubs.
Were you involved in the writing?
A little bit on the second one. Phil Wang wrote it for us. We gave him kind of what we wanted, but he created, the storyline and all that. So
Nice.
Kudos to him on that. The original one I wrote, and that was the 30 minutes.
Okay. What was the hardest part about creating Gray?
That there's no money involved. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to, not that having money is going to guarantee success on a film, but it
Can be quite motivating.
Yeah. Well, not so much money
help
for
out too.
It's
Right.
A lot of things.
facilitation.
Right, not so much money from my
Yeah.
pocket. Money for, hey, you guys got to come out from LA. We need you here 3 nights. Here's a hotel. We can't do any of that. Unfortunately. So, the actors and everybody were really, really hard working on that project to keep coming out, and also they have their own other projects they're doing. So a lot of
Yeah,
people's
so
hair.
it's hard to find people that are willing to do that
Yeah.
stuff too. So
Yeah, I mean their hair is going to change.
Right.
If we can't,
Yeah.
if I got to work next weekend, we can't shoot next weekend. I mean, it's really a process. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and like I said, they have their own stuff they're doing. That they've got work on the side, so they can't always be there when I'm ready, and vice versa. So, keeping that together was the hardest part for me. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about making a feature film like that? Is it directing, editing?
Directing and editing.
Yeah.
Directing and editing. I do more editing because that's by nature that's more time consuming, but directing and editing are my two top things to do. So
now, how many of your films are you actually like starring in? We watched one last night. And I thought it was you, but I was like, I think that's him, but I don't know.
We didn't. I
boot
think the
camp?
one thing we saw you in was boot camp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think maybe
Which
that
is
was it.
a music video.
yeah, boot camp.
You were like the driver.
Yes,
I think.
and
Yes.
that's inspired by the movie Heat. So as you can see by our blue jumpsuits, we didn't get an ambulance; we got a U-Haul. So that whole concept of getting that vehicle to bring our people over to that house was inspired by Heat. I mean, everything, the gunfire, inspired by Michael Mann and Heat and De Niro. I love that movie, so that's where that came about. And I wasn't even supposed to be in that. I had a friend of mine that canceled out, so I took that role and pretty much held the camera in front of me as I walked. On a lot of
that's
cool.
cool.
So you gotta do what you have to do to
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah,
finish.
So
Couldn't
Yeah.
even tell that you were walking with a camera.
yeah, I just
One thing that it kind of reminded me of that the film boot camp film music video was Michael Jackson used to do like extended length
Sure.
videos for some
Sure.
of his songs like Smooth Criminal.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of brought me back to
Yeah.
that. I used to be a huge Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah.
Kind of still am, but
right.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it's
but yeah, it's that's what I thought was kind of cool about it was was you get that film experience from that with the music video involved.
Yeah, I like to do that. Boot camp originally was just supposed to be a video, but I wanted to make it more of cinematic. You know what I mean? Have a little more story to it, and you can even take that and build that now if you wanted to do that. And that's what we did with Under the Underground with your music video. We made it longer. I think we went about 15 minutes, where you can have more substance to it, it's more layers.
Yeah, actually, the way he did it, or Under the Underground, the way he filmed it, comes out incredible to me. It's because I had a vision. And I told him when I told him I was like, I want you to started from the like where the film's gonna start and begin at the same time, whatever, and like breaking it down the way he did it and the rewind sequences and all that stuff. Was like whoa. And I think I was telling everybody before, I watched it about 2,000 times, so I can't stop not watching it over and over again, just seeing his movies. Like,
That's so cool.
It's a great little film. I mean, man, the way he puts his stuff, like I think that's kind of, I don't know what that one put in, but I think it's kind of like your wheelhouse though. Like honestly,
oh, thanks.
Like the boot camp urges, the boot camp, and then like our Under the Underground. It's kind of like the street kind of like gritty type of, I don't know, whatever, but like really knocks those out the park. You know what I mean? Like just
Takes talent, like a certain
crushes out,
eye
yeah.
for that stuff. Not everybody can just go and
Oh, thank you.
create stuff like that.
I do a lot of horror.
I wouldn't be able to.
I do a lot of horror stuff, but honestly, I'd like to do more stuff like Heat and Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
More street,
Yeah.
you know,
The Wire.
or The Wire, or even movies like Collateral, just more
I hear you.
night stuff, you know.
Right.
But horror seems to be more accessible for me anyway, you know, because it's not so much easier. But I can't go in the LA street and have a gun battle. You know, you got to do, if you really want to get involved and do these things, you have to do like what you guys are doing here. We're doing it here in the fucking house.
Yeah.
It's what you do. You know what I mean? Or you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Got to get up off your ass one
That's
way or
right.
another, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my view on that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Gray, gets shit on a lot. Oh, it's low budget. Well, it is low budget,
Yeah.
You just got to go
So
do
is
it.
Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, there were
Yeah.
plenty of,
That's
low
true,
budget
yeah.
is not a, there's either substance there or there's not.
Right.
You know?
And you just got to keep working harder.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Have you been to that? What is that? The Sundance Festival? You gotta
No.
get your stuff
No,
over
you
there.
got to
That'd
get
be
invited
great.
to that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So hopefully one
They
day.
turned down
Yeah.
Under the Underground. I did try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sundance, you missed out.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
For sure. I see a couple different aspects to your horror films, and that like in Walls and Playset, you've got more of a paranormal feel to what's going on there. But in like Blue Room, it's more like of a diabolical killer type thing you got going on. And then to me, Gray was kind of a combination of the two. Do you have that same feeling, or was the villain in Gray, was that what you were going for, like a paranormal plus diabolical killer?
Blue Room was actually written by a friend of mine, totally unrelated to Gray or anything. Like he wrote something. He came over to my house once and he saw everything inside's blue. He wrote a script, and I pretty much took everything he wrote. So that wasn't any kind of relation to Gray, you know. But I did want to keep it dark and everything, like Gray, I guess, like some of the aspects of Gray. So
Do you believe in ghosts?
I want to believe that I believe in ghosts. If that makes sense.
But no personal experiences?
No, I don't think so, man. Nothing with me personal. People have told me stuff has gone on in my house, but I haven't seen it. You know?
Right. What's when you're trying to come up with a concept for your film, what are you more likely to be geared toward? Is it something like a ghost story, or are you into zombies, vampires, anything like that?
I'm more ghost. I'm more what you can't see, I guess. My recent short playset,
creepy.
you didn't see anything. So I think
Yeah.
what you don't see is zombies don't really do it for me.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
The video game is fun.
Yeah, stuff like that's fine. But for me,
But that's enough.
I like a contained, kind of claustrophobic type of stories where zombies are, they're kind of like all over the place. So I don't really get into those.
I feel the same way about vampires, too, for the most part.
Okay. Not a Twilight fan or anything?
Yeah, I'm not so much into vampires. I can go for zombies, mostly just because of like the apocalyptic aspect
Like
of
28
that.
Days Later or something.
I do love that
That's cool.
movie. Hmm.
That was cool.
But that's what I liked about Playset. It was really thought provoking.
Thanks.
Kind of leaves a lot to the imagination, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it does have that paranormal aspect to it that you don't really know exactly what's going on. It can be interpreted in multiple ways.
Right. Exactly.
And I noticed you shoot in various locations. How far do you travel to shoot, or what's the furthest you've gone to shoot?
Paris might have been. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Well, I mean, we did those interviews in Simi Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Those
that's
are more of
Oh, wow.
documentary stuff. So we kind of we have been pretty far.
Okay.
For the most part, I shoot at my house. Like playset is his playset, my son's
Oh, that's
playset.
cool.
So that's inspired from just looking out, locking my back door every night. I look out and I see that. So I just thought let's do something.
That's a good
with that,
idea.
you know?
That's a good concept.
Backyards are creepy at night.
Yeah,
I always
they can
feel
be.
like we always keep our blinds like open, and like
Yeah.
I'll be sitting here and I'm just like, sometimes I don't know. I'm just like, what? Look out there. It's like a creepy shed. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah. Your mind will
just-
do that to you.
Has
Yeah.
your son watched Playset?
Yeah.
Does it freak him out? Does it make him scared to go out there at night and play?
No. He watches a lot of horror stuff. I don't show him the killing, but I'll
Yeah.
show him the lurking and the stalking
Yeah.
and the cool stuff, I guess.
Right. Was Gray mostly and entirely shot in Paris?
Yeah, Paris and Menifee. Yeah. The short was shot in Moreno Valley, mostly.
Right.
Just people I know, houses that people have. Hey, can I film there? Cool
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah. And you see some wildlife in Gray. That was just, you said that was just there on that property. It happened to be there.
That turtle was there. The snake, I caught the tail end of it.
They add a nice touch to it, I thought,
Yeah.
including those in the
so
movie.
cool.
There's that place out there is so dangerous. I mean, we don't have insurance or nothing to be out there. I mean, there's guys out there that just walk through. They're shooting out there.
I would have
People just,
got
you know,
scared if
yeah.
I seen a snake. I'd be like, oh, don't bite
It's
me.
dangerous,
Like,
man. Dangerous business, man.
yeah.
I've been shooting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they shut it down, or from what I heard, they shut down that little, like, I don't know, it's like an underground shooting range they
Oh,
have
out in the
going on
hills?
out there. It's not official, but yeah, people,
It
like,
can be dangerous.
hundreds of people go out there
Yeah.
and shoot.
Crazy.
I think they shut it down because people weren't picking up their shells.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Yeah.
But they used to let it just go on. Yeah, so Indoctrinated began like basically about a year ago. That's when we got together, started brainstorming ideas of what we'd like to do, and basically just talking about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And then TJ started bringing his mic over and his audio interface, and we just start BSing into his mic. And then about a month later, he went to Guitar Center with me, and I bought a mic myself. And we downloaded Audacity and actually started recording. And then it was still just for fun for a long time, for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
probably just recorded every weekend. He'd come over, we'd be drinking, and we'd sometimes have 5 people in here sharing 2 mics.
Yeah. that's
Yeah.
what's up.
You know, the sound quality was terrible, but we'd be recording for a couple hours, and we didn't even have a name at that point, and none of that material was ever released, or
Thank
we
God.
never made anything of it. Some of it was good.
Some
you know?
was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, most of it's just, like I said, just
Banter.
BSing. Yeah, banter. And then we got more serious about it. We decided we were gonna come up with a feed and get our stuff on the internet, put together episodes.
That's when I started coming in.
Well,
I
not
didn't do it in the beginning.
Initially, it was just still just me and TJ, and then we obviously knew we were gonna have to come up with a name, of which we couldn't agree on anything. Everything TJ suggested, I was like, no, I don't like it. Everything I suggested, he didn't like it.
Yeah.
And
We did a group text, like a poll, huh?
Yeah,
that's
I
how
did
we
that.
that's
Yeah.
how we decided
Yeah.
Nice.
we were gonna do it. He came up with 3 names, I came up with 3 names, and we created a group text with some friends and just put them all out
Okay.
there and kind of took like a vote, see what people liked the best. I think what I came up with was Indoctrination, and people did like that. TJ wanted to change it to Indoctrinated, which probably is better, you know. So that's how it came to be. And then I think it was at the end of last summer we started releasing episodes.
Okay.
We got a Libsyn account. That's our publisher.
Oh, nice.
And they put our stuff out there on Google, iTunes, Spotify. We're basically on every single podcatcher you can find out there. I haven't heard of any podcatchers we're not found on yet.
Okay. That's
So,
good.
so if you're listening to this right now, go ahead and subscribe to us on whatever platform you're getting your podcast from. Undoctrinated. Sound it out. It's not hard to spell. But we're basically like sports, entertainment, and politics.
Nice.
You know, we
It's
both,
all over the place.
Yeah, it's real guest dependent. So today
Very.
this is going to be like an entertainment episode.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
Yeah,
So, but we're both into sports, so we get down on sports a lot. There's a lot of sports just interwoven into every episode. Like when we interviewed Bruce Jingles, we were talking about the Lakers for a while because he's a Laker fan. We both like the Lakers.
Okay.
And then politics, that's something I like to talk about, and sometimes we have guests on that like to talk about it too. TJ gets down on politics every once in a while. But yeah. That's more my wheelhouse. TJ is more about
the entertainment
and sports. The show must go on, So Natalie helped me out. In fact, we were thinking about starting a separate podcast because she kept begging me to come on Undoctrinated, but I wasn't.
Right.
You weren't letting me.
I wasn't letting her on.
Yeah.
So we were gonna start our own show, and then we were going through the whole process of getting another podcast up and running. And I was thinking she was working so hard on it, and I was just really impressed by her work ethic and her dedication to actually wanting to be on a podcast. So I was like, fuck it.
Cool.
I changed my mind on having her on this show. So it's worked out better, and she's been, a great addition to it as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. It's funny because you talk about the first couple episodes you didn't like or didn't work, right? The same thing for me.
Yeah.
We shot probably a couple of hours, and I used the sound, but I didn't like the shots or the lighting or anything. So same thing on my end when it comes to that.
Our biggest issue has been audio quality, and still that's an issue for us today. It's mainly because of our equipment, but also my inexperience in doing sound checks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's getting better. I think every episode it gets better, but when we have 4 mics set up, it's so hard to get each one of them dialed into the same level.
Right. You'll probably be a little off from ours, your guys' mic, so just
because we're sharing.
Because you're sharing, so I'm gonna have to play with that.
Okay.
Do what I can.
Not a big deal. It'll
do.
be more consistent with what we've been doing. It'll be
Yeah.
If we had another mic, it'd be awesome.
No shit.
But it's all good. We'll get it. We'll do it another time.
We do need to invest in a couple more.
Yeah, eventually. We do have more than 4 people on. Often, so we might as well
get a couple
eventually
extras,
upgrade to support 6 or whatever.
Do it like a drink champs or something like that. You fill out the room, pack it out.
How long have you been doing your podcast?
Man, I started. I don't know if it was December.
Yeah, I think it was December. No, maybe before December. No, might have been December.
Might have been. I went out of town for that 6 weeks, however long it was. So that was a hiccup there. But I think it was. I want to say it was when. No, you know what? Whenever Halloween came out, because I remember I ripped it.
Yeah, 2 years.
Like
right
2 weeks
after that. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks after that. Okay,
I
that's
ripped
right.
it, man.
Okay, so that was like November then, wasn't it?
Could have. Yeah, it could have been October even, huh? Maybe it came out in October. So.
Well, was Halloween released on Halloween?
No,
they release it before usually.
Yeah, it's like on the 19th. So so it was the 19th, and I didn't see it till probably the week after.
I think so 2 weeks after because they were talking about it.
Maybe
and
2.
They didn't want to spoil it. They didn't get it. That's why we had to do the following
that's right.
podcast after that. So
that's right.
Yeah,
so maybe it was November was the first one then. Maybe that's what it was. And then I took off all of December to go work. That's what it was. So yeah, November was the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, your podcast is really good, man. The production value or the quality of the production is really really high.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your studio is impressive. Obviously, I envy the audio quality, and then the video aspect of it is something really cool. It's worth watching for everybody.
I think audio is on everything is probably. I don't know. It's arguably more important than video. I mean, if I would
say so.
Right? I mean, if you see a beautifully shot video movie, right, and the audio is jacked up, you're probably not going to watch it. However, the other way around, if you got good audio and say a crappy video, you're more prone to listen. At least
That's
in
true,
my experiences. In my experience,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I try to key in on the audio. Audio is very, very important, man.
Yeah, when you're shooting a film, how do you manage the audio for that? Do you use boom mics or do you mic up each individual?
No, well, I used to, like when I shot one on the lake at Lake Elsinore back in 08 or 07 or something. And back then during that time, I would just use mics. I would just use mics and just deal with wind and try to just cut in and out. But for Gray and a lot of the stuff after, I voice over. I'll bring it back in voice over. I'll delete.
Oh wow.
I delete the whole atmosphere. I For playset, everything you saw outside, everything you heard was stuff I flew in, from her stepping on the rock to the wind to the birds to whatever.
So you like add all those elements.
Later.
Okay.
So none of that sound, even for boot camp, well, most of boot camp, all that's added later because I can control
wow.
it. It's hard to do. It's tedious, but it makes for a better sound. You know what I mean?
Even like
Wow.
the dialogue in Gray, that was all done in like a.
Most of the stuff in the woods was, yes.
Wow.
Do you bring those people into your podcast studio to do?
No, I take my
dialogue?
laptop to a room, be it, well, none of it, that particularly was at my house. Took it to Phil's house, the guy who wrote Gray, and I'll put a laptop in there. And we did that at your studio
my
last
studio.
week.
Oh, yeah,
Took my laptop or an iPad, and I'll bring the scenes to him. And I'll just keep going.
That is so cool.
4 or 5 times. Try to do it. Pause. Try to do it. Okay, do it. It doesn't matter if you mess up. Just 5 more
Wow.
times.
It sounds like it was just all done there. Like
Yeah.
it's,
And
like
it
you
wouldn't
can't
sound
even-
like that otherwise.
Wow.
You know? So.
Is that how they commonly do it with movies?
I know
Probably.
back in the days, most of it is done ADR. So, because you're dealing with too many things. You know, you're dealing with
Yeah,
like,
the elements can be crazy.
yeah, like we were shooting
Yeah.
Knuckles. Remember that? Or just- So we mic'd the car, which would have been great. You know, on paper, right? Okay, you're in a car, but now you got the neighbors with kids running around, right?
Yeah.
Trash cans
Saturday
to
morning.
cars
Right.
to airplanes. So I'd rather not do it because it's a pain in the ass to ADR. It really is. It's just a pain, but if you get it done right, it sounds so much better. Everything.
What does ADR stand for?
Yeah, I've heard it's audio dialogue recording. I've heard audio dub. I've heard different things.
Okay.
Audio digital. I mean, but to me, ADR is just voiceover, pretty much. So, and that's, you know, like Hitchcock would hate going to shoot out on streets because, like the car lot scene when she sells the car in Psycho, they had to go down there on I think that was Lancashire at that car lot there, but they had to go down there, and he hated to do that because he had to bring Janet Leigh in to overdub all that shit. He'd rather shoot on a studio because you can control the sound and you can keep, like in Playset, the dialogue between the mom and the daughter, that was all practical. That was what they said there because we were able to control that, you know, in the kitchen to the patio. Luckily, we were able to control that, but
Right.
everything else, even when the mom goes outside and says, you know, where are you at? That's all ADR.
It
You know.
stands for automated dialogue replacement.
There you go. That's
Oh,
another
okay.
one. I've heard a couple of them.
Huh.
So
cool.
automated dialogue replacement. Perfect. That's what it is. So to me, that's the best way to do it. You wouldn't want to do it for something like this because there's too much dialogue. You'd never
Right.
be able,
Right, right,
never.
right. Never
It
match
wouldn't
it
be
up.
worth it. Might as well reshoot it. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We also don't have lines on the show.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. So-
exactly.
Well, what's your process for casting?
Casting. What did I used to just get like friends or way back in the day, but then that progressed into LA Casting online.
Yeah, we use LA Casting once.
LA
before.
Casting, you say, hey, I want a tall white dude with long hair, and then you'll get like pages and pages, right?
Huh.
But in the age we're in now for playset, I found Kristen Salmons on the one that played the mom on YouTube on a
Oh,
reel.
wow.
A lot of actors and actresses put up their stuff on YouTube, so I just LA acting reels, and you just go through that. Take the time to go through all of it and make notes. Okay, let me reach out to this person, that person.
How
So.
cool.
Do you ever do auditions?
I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. For the original Gray, we did it, and we did it on another one that it never came to fruition. And that's fun. They come in, and
Yeah.
but it's so much easier now to just do it online.
Mm.
Send me a reel. Send me something, you know, please. And then you can just base it on that. And the little girl's my niece in playset. And that was her. She
Aw.
wanted to act, and that was her first run. So
She did super good.
yeah, she was good. It was a late night, you know. It was about 6-7 hours
Oh, wow.
to get that. What, 5 minutes or whatever it was.
What's the last project you worked on?
Well, the last one that I completed was playset.
Okay.
So now, man, we've
done
Knuckles.
Knuckles. That's the one I wrote.
it's almost
Yeah, that one's pretty much done, right? And then we've had a cop documentary.
yeah, we got Black Police Officers documentary, which actually the guy that played in Gray is a retired police officer.
Oh, wow.
Gray. So he'd been wanting to do a project of let's take black officers now and see what it's like for these officers to be right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, that's
From
gonna be.
to you're a sellout to
Yeah.
you're just doing your job. To, you know what I mean? So I want to hear that, and I want to keep it fair. You know what I mean? So we already have what, six?
Six interviews.
So we're working
That's
on that.
awesome.
Wow, that is so cool.
You know, because they get a lot of, you're a fucking sellout and this and that.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
they're
I
just
bet.
trying to
They
do the
get-
job. You know what I mean? So I think that's
A
an
lot of
interesting
grief.
aspect to.
It's cool. I think it's good, especially the stories we got, because some of the stories are pretty impressive. Like I was just listening to them, or you know what I mean, or how they the day in work, or like my dad was a police officer, so my dad tells a story about the Rodney King night, how he's supposed to work that night, and
Oh my
he's
gosh.
going through the whole thing, whatever. He's supposed to be at that literally the era that was the area he's supposed to work with. So it's kind of interesting to hear him talk about the stories and the perspective of it, because sometimes I'm thinking this perspective of what he's going to say compared to what he said. It was like, oh wow, that's not what I was expecting him to say. So it's kind of, I think it's going to be a good look. I think it's going to be just the stories alone.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's super cool.
And then Knuckles, I thought I was going to have to convince Mike to do Knuckles. So like I said, I had a whole big spill. I had a big speech. I was like, all right, I got this story in my mind. Knuckles is a story about, like, I'll just give a little backstory. Have you ever had somebody like borrows $5 from you get food or buy them a beer or something, whatever, and then like a couple weeks later, you're like, hey, you got $5, they don't have it. So we used to make up a story back in the days, like, I'm going to send Knuckles to your house to go get the money. So that's whatever. So Knuckles is basically the strong man. So
Yeah.
I pitched it to Mike. I was like, yo, I want to do a movie about basically the day in life of the strong man. Like you always get the boss, hey, I need this, whatever, but you never get the guy that's got to go actually collect. So we kind of did a story on that one. And
Like a Big U or a Mob James in real life.
Yeah. Kind of is. But it's a little...
Or Debo.
It's a little bit more, because the thing with Knuckles is, our story back when we were coming out as I was a youngster or whatever, but it was like Knuckles didn't talk in the sense when you saw Knuckles, you already knew what it was. You're going to catch hands and you can give
Gonna
up
catch
money.
some Knuckles.
Yeah, you're going to catch hands, you get money, you can give up the money or whatever. So
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Like I said, I was ready to all pitch out there because it's a weird story. I was like, it's kind of a weird story. I don't know, whatever. But the way he shot it and when we're looking at some of the stuff, and I was like, man, this is actually kind of a cool whatever. And I like to watch him work too because I'm trying to be, so I'm learning my filmmaking. I can do a little bit of writing, but I'm learning my film. I like to watch and see how he puts it all together. Like, it's crazy. Like, I could write a concept or I can see the whole movie in my head. Say I write a whole movie in my head, and then Mike puts the whole movie out in like visual, where it's like exactly what I thought. I'm like, that's crazy to me. So I like watching and seeing the process of how we get from paper to video or paper to film, or you know what I mean. That's kind of interesting.
Do you do any acting, Brian?
I have, in the Under the Underground, I had to act because it's me and my cousin's song or whatever. So it's kind of like you said, the Michael Jackson long extended video. So, but my way around that was not writing ourselves very many lines and putting actors around us. So if you look at Under the Underground, there's a lot of actors doing a lot of stuff around there. If you leave them and my cousin, we very rarely talk in the movie. So I let them do it or whatever,
That's
so we
smart.
didn't ruin it too much.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't act, and we just need to be the rappers here or whatever.
Yep.
We kind of look.
I
Whatever.
respect the hell out of
I
that,
just
too.
mostly wrote
Yep.
all the actors around. I let them do their thing, and me and my cousin just say some words here, and then we rap every now and again. That's about it. But I like the story part of it. Like I really like building stories. Even he showed me a short what you and Urge did, whatever. Man, it's been on my mind ever since. Just seeing the little still they did, it's been on my mind of how to write it ever since. Like I like the story part. So that just for me to write something down or even write a story and to watch us put it all together, all the people to come together, put everything together. That's incredible to me. It's like, man, that's the process I like to do. So I don't know if I can act too much.
So
I feel the same way, man.
So Knuckle and this Cop Doctor are two projects you're currently working on?
Yeah, currently, those two. The Cop Doc we started in end of 2017, and that's going to be I was telling Brian I've got to get to it now because I got to start editing now.
Are you guys done shooting that?
Well, we have because I have to get some drone stuff. I've got to get some LA shots, but we're almost done with the interviews.
Are you gonna try and do any, or have you done any ride-alongs for that?
I've done Highway Patrol and then I've done San Bernardino.
Oh,
That's
nice.
awesome.
That is so cool.
Back in the day, and I went with my buddy of mine, actually the guy that played in Gray. So, and I don't know if you guys saw that shooting the other day where the guy shot at the lady police officer.
No, I didn't
That's
see that.
huge. Look that up when you can. She goes up to the door, man, and her body cam's on, and this cat's in on the driver's side, and she's like, let me roll down the window, and the guy's like, he says something in Spanish. This guy goes like this, and you can see it shoots at her face, right?
Oh my gosh.
So she was
Back
calm,
up,
and
yeah.
she backed off, ran to the other side, and put 15 in the car, man.
Dang.
And yeah, she was calm and man, that was crazy. So that's why I wanted to get black
sure.
officers to tell me, man, you know, what they think.
And
I
especially
agree.
How they
Yeah,
gave their,
see different sides
how they
of
gave their
it.
reasons too. Like they're talking about, you know whatever, but they're talking about coming from the '80s when people were like on hardcore drugs and weren't able to be detained easily, and then all of a sudden taking restrictions away where you can't do certain things. So they're like, all of a sudden you have to get more physical. The stories are interesting to me. It's like it's really interesting to hear their take on it.
So it's gonna see. I'm gonna enter that into some festivals, and that just needs a lot of work.
How long do you anticipate that one's gonna be?
It's got to go over an hour.
Yeah,
it has to. I think because I'm gonna do some reenactments. Not so much acting with dialogue, but some
Like the
reenact-
crime drama or the
Yeah.
things you see on TV.
Yeah, but I don't want it corny like some of those can be.
Way too corny.
Right. So what I'm gonna do is just try to put my little touch on it and see if I can make it how I'm envisioning it.
I have faith you'll be able to do it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm looking
Thank you.
forward to it.
All right, I'll keep you guys posted on all that.
So which film, and you can include the ones you're currently working on, did you have, what was the most enjoyable experience for you?
Shooting wise, the most enjoyable. The most enjoyable shooting wise would probably be boot camp. Under the Underground was another one. I don't know. I just felt different shooting those. I don't know what it was.
Because they're in his wheelhouse, like I said.
I think,
earlier.
yeah.
Do you like doing music videos the most, or?
I prefer music videos if you can make some type of substance outside of the song.
Like a
to it.
statement, almost.
Well, just so you can build on it, more of a foundation than just the song. Nothing against the song, but I think there's so much around it. So I like to make stories out of that. I think that's...
Yeah, because even when we were talking about doing our underground, the music died for this. We were like, well, we don't want to, like the normal videos stand in front of the cars or whatever. We want
I
to
hate
look.
that stuff.
Yeah, like, and sitting in the street with all the homies in the back chilling. Whatever.
I
like,
love that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah, but we wanted to. That's what we just said. We
wanted to do something different.
We wanted to take it a little bit like sinister. So like even the story themselves is sinister. You can't rap anymore. They're shooting you down for rapping, doing any type of hip hop type of stuff. So it was kind of like, we can bring a whole story into this type of whatever, and that's where like the short story spun out.
Yeah, let me reiterate why I hate that. It's not the idea of it. It's so saturated
With that,
100%.
It's and especially for low budget guys, no budget guys like us. It's
the cop out.
Well, and it's oversaturated probably because you have no other choice, right? On its face, you're like, well, we got to just stand here and shoot. And I get that if you can't go to the top of a building and shoot, I get that. But I think the challenge for me is to not do that.
right?
To not do that. Let's do something else. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, that seems like the easy way. Like,
Well, it depends. I mean, I agree with that as far as what you said, but there are some. It's definitely oversaturated, so
Right.
I agree with that. But 2 or 3 more than that. But probably I can think of 2 or 3 videos offhand that did that excellently to a T. Like the Pusha T Exodus 23-1 video, the Bobby Schmurder, the Hot N-word video. Like, and just having all the homies, it helps when there's a dance in the video
that's
true.
and they pack it out.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
if you give it a reason, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's
right.
Fine. Yeah, that's fine.
That's true. And the dances are super hot right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
exactly.
I should come up with a dance. Right
It can
now.
work if you.
if you do it right,
Yeah.
but so many do it wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Like insert shots. I hate doing those. Those are like, let me show that you have a phone. So let me do a close up of the phone, and
Right.
I try to make a shot out of it. So maybe I have you go like this, and then bring it down, and then I'll pan it down.
That's
Oh, okay.
word.
And that kind of goes to what you're saying about those type of
Yeah.
shots and videos.
Mhm.
If there's a purpose, I'm okay with it. If there's not, I'm not. That's just my
Well,
opinion.
it can definitely be cheap, and
Right,
it can be
right.
like really you took no budget, especially if the song's not good too, and the
Right.
video doesn't like sync up with the song, and it's just you and the homeboys. It's
Right.
like I've seen this 1,000 times.
Sure.
Yeah, I kind of like I like the storytelling aspect of it because a lot of times that like storytelling is fun to it, and especially if you can create it to the song or whatever. So even like when I wrote my last album, I did a lot of storytelling elements to it on the actual thought of doing visuals to it. You know what I mean?
That's dope,
so
man.
I was like, we could do it this way, or we can kind of go this whatever. So I already kind of thought about whatever because I like the storytelling or just like I said, just some of that like mini movies. You know, we kind of basically make mini movies out of a whole music video. That's kind of cool to me. It's like, okay, because you got to watch 15 minutes before, or 14, 13 minutes of the short story before you get to the whatever. But like I told you, like I said with Mike, I'm always trying to break everything down. So even though we shoot a short film, I actually shoot a music video. I want to shoot a little something. Everything that we can do, I try to pull as much out of that project as possible. And I'm trying to pull everything I can to get something out. Even if you don't might like the music video, you might like the Instagram video, or you might like
Right.
So you never know. I'm always trying to pull as much as I can. I ask Mike. I'm always like, hey, we do a little bit of this. Can we add this video to it? Can we do? I'm always trying to see what we can tweak out of all that, because we go days and days on shooting. It's like, man, there's so much footage. I bet we can use it to monetize it somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or at least do something, whatever.
It's a whole bunch of like avenues.
Yeah.
One thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Manna-hata movies.com. That's the website, right?
Correct. Yes.
And how did that come about? What's with the name? And that's the name of your production company, right?
Yeah, that's the name. Yeah, pretty much. And that came from Manhattan when the Indians first rolled up to the island of Manhattan. That's what they called it, Manna-hata, which means land of rolling hills. Because back then it was just a bunch of hills and dirt and things, and thought it sounded cool instead of Manhattan. So
Yeah,
I just took that. No other reason, really. So
Respect, man.
yeah,
That's cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you're doing with that. I like the logo too. That's pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, a friend of mine did that.
That's nice. It's got on the beginning of the films. It's got the thunder and the lightning behind the bridge. That's pretty.
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
touch.
That's the Manhattan Bridge. I took that picture. My favorite bridge. It's nice, pretty blue to it. And then a buddy of mine put the effects to that with the rain and did whatever he did. It's old. I need to get it redone, but it's old. It's probably over 10 years old. That actual
Oh, wow.
logo movement there. So
Yeah, that's nice. You've traveled a lot to some sites of a lot of the famous movie sets, right?
yeah, man, I have a lot of them on my Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, I love doing that, man. To go there and try to match up the scene as best you can.
Yeah, that's what I remember
stand,
from your Instagram pages.
Yeah.
You put it. You've got it on the same photo as like the actual scene from the movie, right?
Yeah, I'll try to match it.
Oh, cool.
And 40 years later, whatever it is, it's going to be different.
Right.
But as long as you say, "Oh man, this is where De Niro stood," to me,
That's
Michael
awesome.
Myers stood right here. Nick Castle that played him in the original. I love stuff like that, man.
Yeah. What are some of the other sets you've been to?
They're
They're not sets. They're just sites, right?
right. I recently went when I was in New York last November. I went to a stoop in Manhattan where Harvey Keitel and De Niro stood in Taxi Driver. Keanu Reeves in John Wick 2 at Central Park.
Oh, wow.
Keanu Reeves in Point Break at Neptune's Net in Malibu,
How cool.
as well as Fast and Furious at Neptune's Net in Malibu. I mean, it goes on and on. Heat for the armored car scene, been there. I'd have to sit here and think, but most of the Halloween stuff in Pasadena, Jamie Lee Curtis's house, or the little pillar she sat on, where Michael Myers hid behind the bush. I mean, just nerd stuff I love doing,
Yeah. I assume that some of the I guess it was Fast and the Furious. Some of that was filmed in Hemet
Which
on Dominagoni Parkway.
really?
Yeah,
which
in the
I
first
didn't know that.
movie? Yeah,
Just
in the
the first
first
one, I
movie,
think. Yeah.
it's one of the last scenes where they're trying to jack that semi truck.
Yeah.
And they've got the 3 black Civics, I think.
Yeah.
And they're like racing down that like empty road. That's Dominagoni Parkway.
Whereabouts is it? Before State, or it
It's
ends there?
it's between. I'm pretty sure most of it is in between State and Sanderson.
Heading what, east? Because we drive.
I
Yeah.
think
I'm
it
not
was.
sure
It
which-
looked like it was.
I'm not
heading
sure
east.
which
No
direction
shit, I
they
didn't
were
know that.
going in, but I remember driving
That's an
through
easy
there
question.
when they had the set. Like I had a bunch of the cars parked out there,
Yeah.
and when I drove by, my dad told me they were filming a movie out
You
there.
can tell which direction they were going based on if the mountain was
Oh, yeah,
in the
that's right.
background.
I don't remember
So
off the top
if
of
they
my head, but
were-
yeah, you can
if-
see the mountains in the.
Yeah, I
in
think
the
they were
background.
going east. Like you could see
Wow,
like
man.
Idlewild and stuff.
We drive that damn near every
Yeah.
day for work. I did not know that.
Crazy.
That's another set of movies where like Fast and the Furious, like when the first one came out, I'm like, these are corny.
Yeah.
I love them now.
Yeah.
Love them all. Well, I don't like. I guess was it the second one? One of them I don't really like, but the rest.
Did
of
you
them I
like
love.
Tokyo Drift?
No, is that 3?
I have.
Bow Wow. You get
Yeah,
Bow
that
Wow.
was-
Yeah, I didn't
Bow
like
Wow.
that.
I don't know.
That was too
Bow
much for
Wow's
me.
drifting,
But
out there hustling.
I love how corny. Yeah, I don't know. I love them now. I love watching them. And like me and my brother say, they're like some of the lines are just so bad, but they're just awesome. Some of the stuff they say, but I don't know. I'll watch them. I'll keep watching them.
That's cool. And you've been to the Jaws site for some of that movie?
Yeah, man. I went last September, man. Martha's Vineyard
Oh,
Where's that
wow.
in Boston. Well,
far.
Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah. So, dude, that was, man, I got pictures of all that too, where I got to ride, for those who are familiar with the movie, the ferry, where they took the car across the water. Chief Brody's house. I went to the city hall. I mean, all that's on the Instagram, but it's man, that was probably my favorite. And the Chappaquiddick Bridge, where Ted Kennedy went off
Oh, wow.
with the lady and killed her. That's all right there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Do they actually have sharks there?
I don't know. I heard they do.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
out.
part of the ocean.
That's
so I
where
assume
Jaws
it's
is from,
possible, but
okay?
Yeah.
it seems like it's a cold,
Yeah.
cold
Yeah,
water.
I'm not
so.
sure how realistic that would be, but yeah, that was
and
incredible.
then one important thing I had to talk about was one of my favorite horror films, and probably the one that scared me the most ever was The Exorcist.
Oh yeah,
right.
And I saw something really disturbing on your YouTube channel last night. Luckily, she had gone to bed already because she would
I was
have
so
been
tired.
freaked out by it.
Yeah.
But what's up with Olga?
Oh, Olga, that was
I'm
Is
gonna
that
have to
that
watch
doll?
it now.
no, that was a project. My buddy, it was his idea to do, just a found footage project, and
So you guys didn't film that?
yeah, we did it, but
Oh, you did?
it's all like it's almost like we try to make it like it was found footage, you know, like if
Dude,
somebody was really
Looks
filming that.
super realistic.
Yeah, it was like if someone in the family filmed it, you know. So this
So
was
they were
probably 10 years
acting?
ago. Yeah,
Dude, they were.
Yeah.
That was really good.
We did that. Yeah, she was like possessed, and you know her sister went and got the priest, and that whole bit. But yeah, that was all, you know, staged and
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I was
pretty
impressed with
incredible.
that. That was really scary, man.
yeah. I think by yourself it can be.
Did you come to bed right after that?
Like
Were
in
you
the
like,
dark watching that. That was pretty. Like right before I went to bed. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
no wonder why you had the lights on in the room when you went to bed. I'm like, what are these lights? Turn them off. I'm trying to sleep.
Eyes wide
I
open.
sleep with the lights on now.
Yeah, at all hours.
Yeah, Olga, that's right. That, from my buddy Fernando, that was his idea, you know, and we just went and shot it, and I think it was 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was divided up into 3 parts, or at least that's how I
Yeah.
watched it. I think that's how it's presented on your YouTube channel.
I don't know if you remember the part where she's outside walking the backyard.
Yeah.
And they call her. Well, I
Yeah.
shot all that backwards and ran it forward.
Dope.
So she looks weirder, something about it when she's walking forward. You know what I mean? So I had her actually do
Oh yeah.
it better than I ran everything forward. So
Oh, trippy.
slowly,
that's
you know what I mean?
cool.
So,
Yeah.
That's cool, yeah. That freaked me out, man.
I'm going to have to watch it now.
Yeah, definitely.
So on Jaws, on the topic of that, just briefly to get back to what we were talking about.
Sure.
The part that they were filming with the robotic shark in the Orange County area or wherever they did the bay thing, and the shark on like the first or second day of filming sank to the bottom
Sure.
of it, and then Steven Spielberg had to like figure out how to make it scary without showing the shark for most of the movie. So they used barrels and shit while they could rectify that situation.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty incredible because he had to change the whole way he was going to do that movie because it was going to be more of the shark, but then you don't see the shark till the end.
Right, and that luckily, like you said, because it didn't work, they had to go with what they had, and he's brilliant with that. The scene where the fishermen go and try to catch him, right?
Yeah.
And all you see is the broken barge. I got chills right now just thinking about it. You don't see the shark. You just know when that barge is coming or when them barrels are there, right? The shark's there, and the less is more to me. The less
Yep.
you see, and
Yeah,
less-
lets your mind wander more.
Right.
And think all sorts of things. I think.
yeah, exactly. Like you said, when you look into the backyard there, and you
Yes.
don't know, it could be anything, could be anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're going for all out gore, then you're going to want to see blood and guts and all that. But
Sure.
Want to get into a hip hop discussion?
Yeah, let's do it.
He said, "Yeah, let's do it, huh?"
Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's start with you, Brian. So you've got yourself a hip hop project, right?
Yeah, I've been doing hip hop for quite a bit now. About I won't date myself. I've been doing it for a few years now. Got about 4 or 5 albums out. Me and my cousin rap together. We do a lot of solo stuff. We try to incorporate. Now we're not necessarily trying to put music into. We are putting music in CDs, but we're trying to put our music into stuff where you don't notice you're listening to our music, but you're listening to our music. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's kind of why our new direction is. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I love hip hop. I've been a hip hop fan since I can remember. It's like the first music that actually spoke to me, connected to me. Like as a youngster, I remember them shutting down the blocks in LA. I grew up in LA. They would shut down the blocks and break out cardboard, and you would see a pop lockers doing their pop lock thing, and MCs doing out there, spitting their thing, and DJ spinning. So it's always had that type of effect to me, like just growing up, remembering like the OGs out there doing their thing, kind of whatever. It's like, oh man, I want to. I actually want to be a b-boy, but I can't b-boy, so I started rhyming instead. But I actually would want to be a b-boy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's b-boy?
Like the break dancers, spin on the head, hands, like flare type, like pop lockers. Pop and locking's two different things. I found that out. I thought it was pop locking so long until I met poppers and lockers. But it's like the dance style. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So
are you a fan of like Two Live Crew and stuff like that, as far as like the call and response, as far as an MC, or not as much?
No, Luke is super dope because he was super independent back the day before we knew what independent was. But I mean, to be honest with you, like Two Live Crew showed me I went from like boy to manhood. I don't know if whatever. Like, I was watching Two Live Crew videos, like what? Like, oh, man, I ain't know. Wow. I mean, completely changed my little mind from like, I'm supposed to be this little innocent kid, so I want to see big booty hoes bump with it, whatever. So Two Live Crew is definitely instrumental in my life as far as music or whatever. Because like I said, they were. That bass, that 808, that heavy bass, that you can feel it when you listen to it. So
Absolutely, when it's like.
Yeah,
rocking,
feel the music. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just like goes right through. As far as performing and stuff, you said you'd like to perform with your cousin, and you guys got DJ too?
No, that's one thing I want to do. I do love performing with my cousin. That's one of my favorite things about performing. I like performing. I just don't like going. It's crazy. Like I'd be sitting in my house chilling. Like I don't want to do anything. But once you get there, everything's good. I just don't whatever. But I really enjoy performing mostly because I get to hang out with my cousin. My cousin's a little bit younger than me, but it's kind of like my brother. It's not even like a cousin. Though. But it's crazy because we've gone so many different states and places that it's kind of cool to be out just hanging out, vibing with them, eating food or whatever, or just exactly, and just hanging out when we just when me and my cousin been performing so long that we know each other's parts and we can drop down.
That's
like I
awesome.
said, we were talking before off camera. It was like, one of the things I see a lot of rappers do is rap over their song.
Yeah.
And me and my cousin don't do that. So.
I don't mind it for the hook so much
Right.
if you've got like a really like hard to do hook or just a banger, but over the verses, I hate that shit.
Yeah, I just don't know how they do it.
It's just annoying to me.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Like, I can't match my voice while I was in the background. Like, it's going to mess with me the whole time hearing myself.
Well, you also know, like, from recording hip-hop, how, when they do parts of emphasis, Jay-Z does it all the time, he'll do, like, the first 3/4 of, like, the first 3 bars, just one voice, and then the 4th bar will add in the echo. That's what it's like, but the whole song, it's annoying. And it's like they're just doing the little echo part on stage. It's like
sometimes I've seen. I mean, I'm not down at the MCs that do their thing. You do your thing, you get the crowd doing your whatever. But I've seen MCs literally forget their rhymes, put the mic down, and you can't even tell. Like it's just. Whatever, they'll come back in,
I'm not down
and jump
that,
back in or whatever. So, and you can tell when you can look at when I'm rhyming, you can tell because I mess up or whatever. My cousin's like.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my bad, yeah, he's looking at whatever, mic down, just staring like, man, you done messed up, like, all right.
As far as 2018, a year in review of hip hop, what were you really like feeling last year?
Last year was a good year of hip hop music,
agree.
man. I know everybody's gonna say the Cardi B, but Cardi B's album was dope.
Not everybody going to say the Cardi B.
No, her
Cardi
bodega.
B.
Yeah, her bodega.
I've got no problem with her. I like her.
album was big, but as far as
not
like
compared to those other
the
3.
Pusha T album was dope. Nipsey Hussle album was incredible, man.
I was at that show
Nipsey
too.
Hussle. I could listen to that album over and over. That album was whatever.
Oh man,
I was really into the battle rap that's happening last, whatever. So I'm loving the battle rap coming back.
So what do you think the most important battle was last year? I would say the Pusha T and Drake beef between Duppy Freestyle and the Story of Adidon. I think that was the biggest.
That was the biggest thing because I honestly, I gotta be honest, I haven't listened to a lot of Drake before, but I'm listening to a lot of them now. I'm not saying that like his style is just. I've been listening to a lot of underground. I've been doing a lot of tours with people and whatever, so I just listen to their music instead. But I've been listening. He's all over the place, whatever. But I knew the Infrared off of the Pusha T album, and then I thought it was dope that the Duppy came out so quick. I like that in battle rap too. I know people a lot of saying that you need time. I hate that. Don't make me wait 6 months for a battle rap song. Yeah, give me 2 days, 3 days, otherwise I'm not interested. But I thought the Duppy freestyle was dope. But then,
it was. Other than it mostly wasn't Kanye and Pusha was the one that dissed him.
Yeah, that's true. But
But there were subs all over Push's album. Everybody only talks about Infrared.
Right.
Nobody talks about before Drake and Meek Mill had made peace later in the year that the title of the song with Kanye, What Would Meek Do? Because Meek was the one who had previously lost the battle to Drake. That was a direct reference of how do you respond. There was a lot of subtle games being played beforehand that people weren't picking up on. That I was like, I didn't know who he was talking to at first until Infrared.
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh.
They've been battling back and forth for a long time.
Exodus 23-1. Well, yeah, that goes back to Birdman beefing with Clips and Malice back in the day. Just the Clips.
So that beef is long, whatever. But
2002.
Man, Pusha T ended that real fast.
Oh, yeah.
He's like real quick.
The Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas.
I like
That's my
that
guy,
one.
man.
I like Joyner. He killed it with Eminem. I don't know what's going on with him and the Tory Lanez beef, though.
No.
I thought he got Tory, but then you
I thought Tory Lanez got Joyner.
Yeah,
it was a good response.
It
was a hell of a response, so I can't,
But, I mean, I don't know if Joyner Lucas took it as serious as maybe whatever. Because it looked like he didn't come as full as Joyner Lucas could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I like Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez wasn't messing around. Tory Lanez is out here doing his thing, man.
That song Joyner Lucas did with Eminem last year was sick.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite rap?
Least favorite rap song?
No, not song, but beef of last year.
Least favorite beef.
Probably Eminem.
And Machine Gun Kelly. I thought that one was the worst too. I thought that was a waste of time.
I thought
Me
Machine
too.
Gun Kelly got his shit off. I was not. All right, so Eminem drops the kamikaze. He talks about everybody on the planet, and I'm waiting for somebody to respond. And I see the MGK. I'm like, MGK? Like, I wasn't expecting him. I knew he would whatever, but I wasn't expecting to respond. I pushed play on that song, and my jaw was like, "What? Like, damn! Like I now the response. I forgot the rebuttal. The name of the rebuttal.
Kill shot.
That's now. It was dope because it was super
so many
complicated.
subs.
Yeah, super complicated. So you're not gonna whatever. But for battle rap, I don't want to think too much. You know what I'm saying? I really want you to go out there and just cut my man's head off. That's what I thought. MGK. I thought he came out there like, all right, I'm coming with these shots, whatever, and I might have to go back and listen to him as a bunch. Don't get me wrong, it's super dope too. I'm not gonna do whatever. It's super dope, but just as like impact, I thought MGK.
I would say MGK was better for the energy.
Yeah.
I would say Eminem's content was actually better, especially when you really start breaking down what he said.
Right.
He got him on like every level.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. Eminem's gonna do that. He's gonna break it down.
Sure.
And
But I still thought it was the most ridiculous beef of last year.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man.
Oh, it's the fact of the timing of it. And Eminem had dropped the album. I forgot before that didn't do anything.
He did.
Yeah. I know it did whatever.
Revival?
Revival. The one
that
it didn't get as much.
sucked.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't listened
awful,
to.
right?
I haven't
It was
listened
terrible.
to an Eminem album.
Too many girls on it.
I haven't listened to Eminem album. Like I haven't bought a full album of Eminem since the fourth one. So after he did the Eminem, I think it was the Eminem show.
That was the third one.
Third one.
Encore was the fourth one.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe it was the third one. So when he did the Eminem show, it was dope. His bars are sick, whatever. But it was kind of the same content as the first two albums. And I was kind of like, all right, man.
It was a little more like a movie to me on that one. A little more polished, a little more Hollywood on that one. I like the first two albums.
Yeah, the first two. I was like, yo, if I hear one more song about Kim, man, I'm going to go bananas right now. Like,
I hear you.
I know you don't like her. I know you guys are going through your thing, but I want to hear one more song about her. You know.
Did you like the Relapse album since that was related to horror and like thematically it was horror all the way through?
I only listened to bits and pieces. The Royce
I
think the other one I had was the Royce to 5'9". The
Hell Meets or Bad Meets Evil.
Yeah, that's the one I had to whatever because Royce is sick.
Yeah,
Royce is sick.
I think Royce is really sick right now.
Yeah.
He was sick back then, but I think as an artist, he's really made better music as he's gotten older. Same with Pusha T. I like the older rappers, man.
Out, whatever. The Push It, not Push It. Royce the 5'9".
That's Royce. Yeah, that's a good video too.
That song is bananas. You know, it's like it gives you feel that you feel whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
so many real rappers out here, man.
Yeah.
It's got nice to see real rap come back a little bit. I know the party rappers out there, and I ain't disrespecting. I know it, but I'm not disrespecting party rappers. I've been in the club with you guys, dancing my ass off to that shit. Like I ain't no joke, but it's nice to see the lyrical come back because I'm a lyrical rapper. So
Same.
It was kind of terrible, like you being a lyrical rapper dropping these lyrics in there, but it's like, nah, it's not party enough. Like yo, but I don't know how to make party records. I do, but
when it comes to battle rap, does it more often than not stay within the music, or does it spill over to social media or TMZ?
Oh no! It depends on if it's a full-fledged beef or if we're just battling right now. Because that's sport. There's a little more rules to that. But if it's beef, dude, everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table. Yeah,
so is there kind of a difference then between like actual beef and like battle rap?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because somebody, I haven't had any whatever. But like if you don't like somebody and you come with the battle rap, you just saying to them, you know, I'm saying this in a rhyme, but if I see you, we might still spar up. You know,
But
we might whatever.
Is it?
People die over rap beefs,
Yeah,
not over
right.
battle rap.
Sure.
That's the
Yeah,
difference.
true.
Do
that.
friends have battles?
Yeah, that's kind of what you
you
see what
have
Tory
to.
Lanez is doing right now. I see Tory Lanez, besides that Canadian rapper that flamed him, man, and
I
he
didn't
went
hear
over
it.
the, oh my god, that
The
Cana-
Don Q?
Yeah, no.
The one before?
After there's another one that
Oh.
just a random. I forgot what
Oh,
his name
yeah,
is.
yeah.
You got
No,
Tory.
no.
Tory's good.
Well, Tory Lanez ran up
Oh,
on
did
him.
you? He did.
Yeah,
I saw that
Tory
video.
Lanez ran up on him, made him apologize on purpose.
Was
made
it-
him apologize
was it
face to
Famous
face.
Dex?
Yeah, I think it was. Maybe it was Famous. I don't know. I don't think Famous Dex.
Wait,
did it.
Tory Lane went up to him
I know
and-
who
Yeah, he
you're
called him in
talking about.
Canada, ran up on him like, "Yo, you got to apologize right now for that
Really?
diss track."
Yeah. Oh, but here's
man.
the thing. He had a bunch of goons with him, and
Yeah,
this
that's what I
dude was
heard.
by himself. So to be fair, he was
Yeah,
caught
no, no.
slipping. He was way
Yeah,
caught
no,
Did
slipping.
he apologize?
But
Well, he had to.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, he had to. Yeah.
When he did it, he was like all out of breath and shit. They had just chased him down.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Say sorry."
Yeah,
Like
the
he's
crazy-
like, "We good." He's like, "No."
Yeah, right.
Tory, really? Why would Tory do that? He goes pretty hard when he does his. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and the crazy
understand
thing
why-
is, it wasn't super disrespectful. It wasn't like a
That's-
disrespectful.
I didn't know
whatever.
that.
But he
That's
did
whack.
speak the truth though.
Yeah, he
That's
was dropping some.
terrible, man.
I thought it was whack too. I thought it.
If you're
dropped,
gonna make somebody apologize, but you know,
yeah, but you're going to everybody over
yeah,
the
that's,
whole.
that's not cool, man. I
His
didn't
name
know
was
anything
Don
about
Q.
that.
Don Q. That was a dope record too. But what's her name? The girl's the one that got the best on out of that beef. I can't think of her name.
Yeah,
one of them
it's-
dolls chicks.
Yeah,
Yeah, she burned him on that. She was killing him. I was like, who's this? You know, like, I love rap beef. That's the first thing. As soon as I see a diss record, I'm like, oh, first
me
thing in the
too.
morning, I'm like, let
Yep,
me listen to that
yeah,
real quick. It's
absolutely.
like morning cup of coffee real quick.
Yeah.
Like, who's dissing who
How do
here?
you feel about the most recent rap beef I can think of right now is Joe Budden, who might come out of retirement, and the game, because the game be talking
Yeah,
all
yeah.
kinds of crazy ish.
I didn't know they had problems.
Yeah, they had
Oh,
problems
they,
before.
I'm out of touch
they
with
had
it.
Yeah,
problems
I don't
before.
think Joe's coming out. I think Joe handled it how he's
Joe
whatever.
made a post that looked like he might actually. I don't know. We'll see. But
think-
basically, Joe Budden's wife used to date the game, and the game just made sexually explicit lyrics about his wife. And then Joe responded with words, and the game's like, "Yo, I'll just release the tape I got of your girl."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. So I mean, it like that right now.
Oh, yeah, maybe. You know, like, I thought
I'll
he
just
handled his
straight up do it.
podcast or whatever. When
He also, sorry to interrupt,
you're
but
good.
the game also in that same song made explicit lyrics about
Kim Kardashian
yeah,
and a
Kim
few other
Kardashian,
people,
yeah, other people's wives.
It's like
as
it
well.
wouldn't get far with the married women, basically, or the women that are getting
Yeah.
married.
Is
or
that
something
a
like
new
that.
song by game?
It's coming out. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
supposed to be coming
the
out.
song hasn't come out. It's only been like previewed in little videos.
Did he claim he messed with Kim?
Oh, he's he was
He
definitely.
was like 3 or 4 of the Kardashians. He said.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he was just going and making a list. I guess I don't know. That's what the.
Oh my god.
That's what they say the song. Whatever he said, it was like a couple. He said he implants like 2 or 3 of them in or whatever.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know what the game is always doing for shock value. Like he's always the known rapper that kind of comes in with some of that. You know, what I mean, he was like even though it wouldn't get far. That was crazy. He's talking about the video vixens. I was like, oh, what? He's talking about all this. You know, so I thought basically, I mean, you know, Game's gonna do what he's
Dax.
doing. Dax, that's him. I think Game's gonna do what he's got to do. Dame's got, you know, he's got crazy bars, West Coast legend. You know, we always whatever. I don't like condone it or whatever. You know, I wouldn't be like. I mean, I think Game is way past that. You know,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like he's doing it for hype because the
Yeah.
last time in my opinion, the last time the game really had hype was 2015 when he did the documentary 2 and the documentary
Right.
2.5, and he had everybody. He had Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West. I mean, he pulled Dr. Dre. He pulled out all the stops, and those were great. But no one's been talking about him since.
Right. Well, I just think his content, the way he delivers rhymes, the way he can whatever, he could really.
He's sick.
He can give us that you know that one album that's like, yo, this is the way different. Because I'm waiting for the different album from the game. You know what I mean? I love the that he's done. I love what he's got, but I'm waiting for that one that's like. And he does the intro, like the retrospective stuff. Even the first one, where he's talking about his sons, and you know, he's talking to Busta Rhymes. I can't remember the name of the song. Drunk,
Oh
whatever.
yeah. I
but-
think that was off LAX,
yeah.
right?
Oh, is that LAX? Okay, one of those.
Either
two.
that
Okay,
or
yeah.
Doctor's Advocate.
Well, yeah. And he's talking about he does like those. Like I want to see more of that when it comes to album. Like give me a whole storyline. You know,
Yeah, he used to
17,
do
18,
that
whatever.
more
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah.
day,
So,
kind of than he does
I mean,
now.
but in this era, in this day and age, I'm not
It's
mad
hard.
at anybody
No.
trying to get popping.
No. And he comes
with
out
Game
with good
or
music.
whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
saying, whatever you got to do to get somebody. They say how many? There's 8 billion videos being uploaded to YouTube and all that stuff today. So whatever you got to do to get some
rap
kind of-
beef.
yeah,
You
just
gotta
somebody
get
to
some
pay
beef.
attention, you know.
We should stage a beef, Brian.
Me
Oh my god.
and my cousin have an actual beef record. We have a record. We're going back. We're going as hard as
That's
whatever.
dope.
Yeah, me and him going 8 bars, just going
8 bars, 8 bars. Oh man,
whole song just dissing
I
each other.
like back and forth raps like that. M and Royce are sick with
Oh
it.
yeah,
You-
Styles P and Jadakiss, another one.
Oh man, Styles P, Jada. I thought Fab and Jada did a good job too.
What's your guys' favorite music videos?
Favorite music video?
Thriller.
Runaway.
I'm not to say Cream. Wu-Tang. Yeah, because it's the best. Cream
Crash
video.
rules everything around me.
It's kind of tough though, man. There's a lot of videos I can run through my head right now.
Thriller's nice.
Yeah, Thriller's nice too. That's Michael Jackson that invented the short film.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
a
first
good
time
video.
that he that
So
had
good.
extended
Yeah.
whatever.
So good.
Gotta give Michael Jackson for making that happen.
Yeah, man.
That also has that horror element to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
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 And people still doing the dance to this day, whatever. People still out there.
Yeah.
doing
Oh, yeah.
the Thriller dance on. So.
There was a big jail. You ever see that? All those inmates doing that? It was like in China.
No,
They're
that's
all,
crazy.
that's
all in
cool.
orange. Yeah, man. It was pretty
Huh.
wild. Yeah.
That's
There was,
good.
I don't know, maybe a couple hundred guys
Wow.
Oh wow.
in a yard doing that.
He's in a yard.
Amazing.
I'm looking kind of like, it looks kind of crazy. Like,
Yeah.
We're going to break that up real quick.
Yeah.
That Thriller's dope.
I would have loved to be on that set. Man.
But imagine, right?
Thriller? Yeah, man.
Wonder who choreographed that.
I don't know who did it. I know John Landis directed it, but
The record?
No, the dances.
Oh,
The
yeah.
dance,
For the video.
We
Might have
could
been
look up
Michael.
the credits.
Oh, maybe.
No? I don't know.
I don't know if he did choreographing, or maybe he did whatever. I don't know, like on that kind of scale. Well, maybe I don't know what Mike. They said Mike used to like himself in a studio for days and days at a time, no showers, no nothing, just
that
getting
right?
music done. Yeah, I heard a lot of people though say that. My barber said that's how the funk was created. Like Parliament and the Funk, they would lock themselves in there for like 2 or 3 weeks. That's how they came up with the name the Funk because they wouldn't leave
no.
until it's done. Yeah, that's what he said. He said literally that's how they said they couldn't get it because they had to get whatever. So literally,
Well, those records came out great, so
Yeah,
I don't
right.
blame them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lord.
I can see it because being as a musician, like I've done that where like all of a sudden I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just come back to this the next day and like completely just gone. Like there's nothing there or you
The
can't
energy
whatever.
gone.
Yeah, so I can see because I don't really whenever I record, I like to finish the whole song, that whole whatever. I don't like to come back to it or whatever because the cadence or the tone, everything's a little bit different when I come back. Like I can't get the vocals just the same as I was doing the last day before.
Right.
So I try to get everything done.
Now
or
you're
whatever,
just
yeah.
preaching,
Yeah.
man. Now I
Yeah.
can tell them.
Yeah, I like that. I like the process sometimes. Sometimes the writing process is a little long for me because it takes me a little while to figure it out. I don't like my words to rhyme exactly how how MCs rhyme. Like like a lot of MC, I don't know, understand whatever, but like their words rhyme at the end or at the
Yep.
beginning, whatever. I like to throw my stuff in the middle, all over the place. So and now I'll rhyme a word here, and they won't have me rhyme for a long time. But the last word will rhyme like 4 bars later. I'm kind of all over the place. So it's
Yep.
very random.
Very technical.
Kind of wanted to know like what actors and actresses you're a big fan of, and
Okay.
if you could cast like 4 people any of your choice,
Yeah.
you know, who would it be?
I'd go, well, obviously De Niro, Robert De Niro for sure. Al Pacino, Christopher Walken. And I'd probably go Don Cheadle.
I like
Don Cheadle, yeah. Or he's great, man.
Yeah.
Would you cast them all together in a project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be, they'd probably kill me, you know, because I'm doing something wrong with those guys. You know? I would do it. Yeah. Maybe put them all in a room and have them talk out whatever's going on. I don't know, something. I'd come up with something.
You get a lot of
for all
experience with that
four
though
of
too.
them.
Though
Yeah.
whatever, they're gonna give you a lot of direction and
Yeah,
point you in the
exactly.
right spot of those kind of caliber of actors. And like, oh,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, you know, before he passed, man, he would have been one of the greats, you know?
Yeah.
God, he was incredible. It's too bad.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really good.
Who do you think the best actor is right now?
Oh, right now?
Yeah. I have 2 in my head.
Who do you got?
I'd go either Leonardo DiCaprio
Okay.
or Daniel Day-Lewis. That's probably who I'd go with. But
Yeah, DiCaprio, he's a monster, man.
Yeah.
You know, both of them
Yeah.
cats.
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
What was the name of that weird movie we just watched with him?
With
With that Bale? No, we didn't watch a movie with him.
Jake
I'm thinking-
Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, that's who.
Michael
Good
B.
actor.
Jordan's killing the game
yeah,
right now.
right. I haven't seen the
Yeah.
new Creed 2, but I have to check it out. I guess.
Which one were you? Was it Nightcrawler?
Oh, I love Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
He's amazing in there. Have you seen Velvet Buzzsaw yet?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's a
that
horror
movie.
movie too.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's
He's
good.
really good
We
in
just
that.
watched it the other night.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw,
I think it's on Netflix.
I think back to back we watched Velvet Buzzsaw and then we watched Stronger like 2 nights later.
Oh
They're
yeah,
both Jake
that,
Gyllenhaal movies.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of his. I think Nightcrawler won me over on
Yeah.
him.
That was incredible, right?
'Cause, yeah.
Ah, man.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
did I watch that movie? Nightcrawler.
Yeah, we watched it together.
I'm so bad. I won't remember like the title of a movie. And I'm like, I'll go to watch a movie again. I'm like, I've already watched this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so bad with titles of movies.
It's the one where he races around LA filming like
like a-
accident
yeah.
scenes.
Oh
and,
yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, that's
yes. It's a real good movie.
What are your favorite movies? Like even like outside of horror.
Well, specifically, what movies? Taxi Driver ranks up there for me. I was never into, even though they're great movies,
The
Casino.
Godfather.
Yeah, I wasn't really never into those. I mean, they're great.
Like
but-
mob movies?
Yeah, I mean,
They're hit or miss for me.
yeah.
Yeah, for me
I was
too.
never really like, oh, I gotta watch those.
I
you
do
know?
like Casino particularly.
Yeah, Casino was cool. I just can't.
Do you like
watch
Scarface?
Joe Pesci screaming at De Niro all the time. I just get, like, it's like, dude, get off my boy, I just, I can't. It's hard to watch that, man. Pesci screaming at him, like, I don't know. Which one were you
Yeah.
saying, TJ?
I said Scarface.
Yeah, Scarface. That was good, man.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, those are good.
I'm trying to get Mike to do a gangster movie, but he still needs some more convincing.
Like
so.
Italian gangster movie or like
like
LA gangster.
No, not even
gangbang
that. More of
movie?
like just a crew gangster movie. Not like even necessarily. It doesn't have to be necessarily an Italian gangster movie, a black gangster movie, anything like that. Just more of like a crew
The streets.
style or whatever. Yeah, crew style or whatever, like organized type of deal. So
Yeah.
working on it. We can get them there. It's in there.
Working on it.
Poltergeist is another favorite of mine.
Really?
That would be
First one?
considered horror, right?
The first one. I don't know which one are you talking about.
The Steven Spielberg one, no?
Well, Toby Hooper directed it, but Spielberg
Oh, okay.
he's got his name. He's produced it, but you don't like that?
Not-
Too cheesy?
Yeah. Wait, yeah.
For sure, right? But I loved it. Been to that house too, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. 4267 Roxbury in Simi Valley. I
Nice.
think it's where it's at. Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. What else? Of course, Halloween, Jaws. We mentioned. What else? Aliens.
Yeah.
Love me
Do
some
you consider
aliens.
that a horror movie?
Yeah, sci-fi horror. Yeah. And if not, that's fine. It's still dark enough where
What'd you think
Yeah,
of
some
Pandora?
sci-fi stuff is
I
crazy.
didn't see that.
Okay, that's one I really like. That's sci-fi horror.
Yeah, pretty
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
Pandorum?
Did I see that movie too?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a while since we watched that one though.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
probably
that's
like
some
it.
space one, huh? Like
Yeah,
that guy
Well, kind of.
wakes. They all are in these pods, and then he wakes up for some reason when he's not supposed to, and then he like wakes up that girl when he shouldn't have woke her
No,
up.
that's Passenger.
Oh,
That was a good movie though.
they both start with a P. I don't know.
No, Pandorum is like older. Well,
Makes sense.
Pandorum is at least 10 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But Passengers came out, or Passenger. Don't know if it's pluralized or not, but
Don't know.
Is that Chris Pratt?
yeah.
I didn't
and,
see that.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
It looks clean, like from like how they shot it. It looked beautiful, man. But I
Did you
didn't see it.
see Ex Machina?
No, I didn't. It looks good though.
That's one of my easily in my top 3, and possibly my favorite movie of all
That's a
time.
scary movie too, kind
A
of.
little
Well, it
bit.
can be scary.
It's most sci-fi thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. You like Tarantino?
I do.
It's my boy.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of his latest stuff, but
Oh man, you missed out.
yeah,
The Hateful Eight, man.
That was
I
really
didn't see that.
If you like shots,
yeah.
yeah.
Heard it was good. I just,
And all in
Django
one room,
Unchained
like
is
you were
really
talking
good.
Yeah.
about, just like getting
Good
all
stuff.
those goes, like it all takes place in one cabin.
I didn't like those Kill Bills that much though. so-
What?
No, me
I
neither.
like Kill Bill.
I like Kill Bill. Kill
I
Bill
don't
was
know.
First one I
hard.
thought better than the second one.
Yeah, I agree, but they're still good. David
many
Carradine
of those
killed
Kill
those
Bills.
movies. So did Uma Thurman. I mean,
Well, it's only one movie apparently. He says it's not 2 movies. It's one movie. He
it's
said.
volume 1,
Yeah,
volume
he
2.
says it's all considered one. It's in his catalog like that.
I like Kill Bill. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like
Inglorious
Kill
Bastards.
I love that
one
movie
of my favorite
too.
movies.
I like
Brad
Django
Pitt, right?
Unchained.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I'm Lieutenant Aldo. You have to see that, man. If you like blood in movies, there's so
Yeah.
much gore. Oh, the scenes are great in that movie. The Bear
For
Jew.
Tarantino, there's actually not that much gore. I mean, there's a couple scenes.
Are you
here.
talking? I mean, what about the baseball bat scene?
Yeah, there's a couple scenes. And,
I just close
then,
my
like,
eyes
at the
when
end.
it's too much.
And then the knife scene at the end.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few.
I'm
scenes,
trying not to give the movie away.
Compared to Tarantino's other movies, I'd say it's like
Okay, yeah,
moderate.
that's fair.
as far as
It's
the
not
gore
Reservoir
goes.
Dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But,
you got anything else, TJ?
No.
Natalie?
No.
All right, you
Not
guys.
today.
You guys want to plug your stuff?
Yeah, I'll put the graphic up, but Manna-hata-movies.com. You can check out some of
It's
our
MANNA.
HATA
Okay.
movies.com. Got most of my stuff up there, and then Vimeo and YouTube, and I'll put all that up for the visuals. But yeah, MANNAHATA movies.
And it's 2S, the Horror Quarters, the podcast.
Yeah, that's the other one. 2S Horror Quarters podcast. That's where I have 4 up as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Those are definitely worth
Yeah,
watching.
super good.
I love
thanks.
them. Yeah.
Tomorrow we're doing a 5th one with a composer that composed on Gray and Blue Room,
Oh, how cool.
Under the Underground.
That'll be
Yeah.
good.
I want to
Yeah.
meet him actually. So let's
Yeah,
go, whatever.
yeah, come through, yeah, so-
definitely coming through. Check that out.
Nice.
Yeah. So that'll be
Brian?
fun.
You can check us out at Kayaticstyles. It's KAYATICK Styles. Everything. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Everything's Chaotic Styles across the board. If you're looking for underground hip hop, b-boy, DJ, MCs, graffiti artists, that's where you want to go right there. We right there. We're always checking out the underground. We're looking out for the underground. We want to be known for the underground. So Chaotic Styles everywhere.
Nice.
Undoctrinated podcast for our Instagram.
Thank you. Yeah, we are Undoctrinated. We're on just about everything, like I mentioned earlier. iTunes, Google.
Twitter is undoctrinated1 though.
One.
Yeah, on social
On
media,
Twitter.
we're Undoctrinated1 at Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're at Undoctrinated1 on Twitter.
Yeah. There you go.
And subscribe, write a review if you have the time. Whether you like
Post
it or not.
questions.
And email us. The email address is undoctrinatedpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
you
the
guys having
time.
me out. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you guys
thanks
so
for
much.
coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for setting all this up, man.
Look, my nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. It's a real nigga celebration. It's a dime block declaration. 59th and 5th Ave, granny house with vanilla wafers. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the fucking matrix. Red rose in the great pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated, so he get faded. Like deep down inside, he know you can't fade him. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meet preparation? I need some real nigga reparations. Or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication. Look.
I spent my whole life thinking out the box. Boxing homies 3-on-1, got DP, but I ain't dropped. Chirp on me, here I come. Spin around the block, they blurted on me. Said I ran a stop sign, but that's a lie. I spent my whole life staring at the stage, playing Sega, daddy smoking Sherm, mama playing spades, catching vapors. Grandma said I get some Jordans for my grades, that's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways. I spent my whole life trying to make it, trying to chase it. The cycle of a black man divided, trying to break it. You take a lost shit, don't cry about it, just embrace it. Mine a setback for major comeback, that's my favorite. My nigga L said you do it on with nip. K-Dot here better grip. I said here man first, you hear the words out of
And that was our amazing episode with Mike Santana and Brian.
Wow. That was something.
Kayaticstyles.
Chaotic. This again. No.
I don't know. We just did the plugs. It's fresh in people's heads anyway.
It's
We don't need to ruin it.
Kayaticstyles. So it's Kayatic Styles.
Boom.
K-A-Tick Styles.
All right.
Chaotic.
Anyway.
I can't read or write or spell, so
That's true. Anyway, check out his music.
I can, but it's just,
Check out Mike's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Check out the website. It's Manna-hata Movies. MANNA.
There's some scary shit on there too.
HATA.
Olga.
Oh yeah. Check out Olga. If you really want to be freaked the fuck out, check out Olga.
Well, we thought it was real first. Like we thought it was. Well, you'll
Just
see
sit
for
down.
yourself.
If you, it's only all 3 parts together. It's only like 30 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 3 different parts on YouTube.
Check out your.
Olga Part 1,
turn
Olga
off all
Part
the
2,
lights
and
in the
Olga Part
house.
3.
Wait till the sun goes down. Wait to make sure that all the kids are in bed.
Well, no, because they might scream. Well, it doesn't matter.
Make sure the kids are in bed and not watching Olga with you, okay?
Yeah. I was asleep when Tim first watched it, and he came into the room and shit turned all the lights on. I was like, what is going on in here? I'm asleep. All the lights are on.
Yeah,
And then I
Olga
watched
freaked me
it.
out. And horror movies really don't scare me much.
but
But
that
like
one
I
just
said, in the
seemed real,
interview,
that's
The
why.
Exorcist was one of the scariest movies, I think. And Olga along that same line is scary for the
Yeah, it's
basically
like a
the same reason.
possessed type thing with a person.
Yeah.
Smells like the
Check out
brownies are
Olga.
burning. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but doesn't it smell like they're burning?
You are cooking brownies.
They smell like they're burning. Okay.
They
Sorry.
smell like they're cooking. Smells like delicious brownies in here right now.
Yeah, people.
Anyway,
Pregnant
yeah.
people like brownies.
Check out Mike, his YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Manna-hata Movies, and check out our YouTube channel. We do have a video on there now, thanks to
Yes.
Mike.
Thanks to Mike.
We are Undoctrinated Podcast.
Check out Mike's podcast too,
Yep, 2S
2S
Horror
Horror Quarter.
Quarters.
and Brian's podcast.
Check out Brian's podcast.
Yeah.
How do you find Brian's podcast?
I just said it.
It's
on
the
Instagram.
Kayaticstyles?
And it's, yes.
That's the podcast.
on on
Okay.
Instagram. I
Alright,
think
cool.
well, maybe it's not. It's just his Instagram page. So
Is there a
let me
link?
see. Looks like there's an email, kayaticstyles@gmail.com. Website is kayaticstyles.com. Twitter @kayaticstyles. And there's a link for YouTube. And then a
Boom.
P.O.
That's all
box.
they
You want to
need.
mail them
Hey,
some
Brian,
shit.
If you want people to check out your podcast, make sure you get some links on your social media.
It's probably on
'cause
here.
We're
And I'm just
blasting
not
that shit out.
noticing it. Maybe. Let me see.
Maybe he just does video podcasts. I
Could
know he
be.
records a lot of video. I saw him a couple times while he was here recording some video, blasting it out on his Instagram.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
right here on his Instagram. He probably does maybe the video podcast on his YouTube. I'm checking it out on
Could
his
be.
YouTube right here. Yeah, I just clicked on his YouTube link and it goes right to a podcast. So
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on YouTube.
YouTube, and it's right there. The links are right there on his Instagram. So
There you go. Kayaticstyles,
yeah,
Manna-hata Movies, Undoctrinated Podcast.
yeah.
We are at Undoctrinated1 on
Thank you
Twitter.
to all our new followers on Twitter. If you're listening,
The Twitter's blasting off right now.
like
It's
yeah,
almost
we
to
got
the
like
moon.
400 new followers in like a week or something. 500 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and it doesn't
And I
seem
don't know
to
what's
be
going on,
slowing
but I
down.
got some new followers on Instagram, but then I started losing followers, so I don't know why y'all are hating. But
The Instagram is
well, we still have more than we did a few weeks ago, but it's dropping each day.
you just need to post more. I've been super active on Twitter, so people are loving that shit, interacting with me.
What am I supposed
We're
to
getting
just
some
take pictures of?
followers.
Leaves outside on the ground?
Yes.
Trash bag? I mean, what do I...
Dead leaves on the dirty ground.
I guess I'll just start taking pictures of random shit and put it on there. So, I don't know. I'll take a
I got an
picture of
idea.
this computer, I guess. I don't know.
I got an idea.
Hmm.
Hey, Twitter followers, go follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, please, you guys. We know you're on Instagram,
Podcast.
too. Like, why wouldn't you follow us there, too?
There you go. We're on
Please.
YouTube, Undoctrinated Podcast. Send us an email, undoctrinatedpodcast
Any
at
sponsors listening,
gmail.com.
let us know. We can talk about your product.
Subscribe on whatever platform you're getting your podcast. Write us a
Yeah,
review.
Spotify,
Send
Google
us all
Play
your money.
Music,
And
Hi.
women.
Pod. No,
And,
what women for what? We don't need women here. Change my
TJ,
kid's dirty
duh.
diaper.
And to change my kid's dirty diaper.
Clean our house, maybe, but that's it.
Exactly. Send us
Does that
all your
sound fun
money
to
and
you?
women.
Probably not. We don't need women.
So there we go. We need
enough
your women.
We do not need women.
TJ needs a woman.
TJ don't need no woman. He doesn't need that.